Before the beginning of the 20th century, there were less than 1,000 African Americans living in Wisconsin. So, of course, there were not many Black-owned newspapers here in the state. One of the earliest was the Wisconsin Afro-American, which was started in 1892. Several years earlier, George Edwin Taylor published the Wisconsin Labor Advocate for workers of all races. Today, there are 4 surviving Black newspapers: the Madison Times, the Milwaukee Times, the Milwaukee Courier, and the Milwaukee Community Journal. This year, the Community Journal is celebrating its 50th anniversary, and James Causey, who started his professional journalism career at the Community Journal, has more.
For nearly 50 years, Milwaukee's largest African-American newspaper, the Milwaukee Community Journal, has remained steadfast in its mission to advocate for the Black community and to provide coverage that traditional media often overlooks.
The main ones that they focused on was basically who shot who, where, when, and why. That's why one of the reasons we don't do crime stories from the standpoint of who shot who, because we know that there is more to our community than just being a shooting gallery. When we do report on crime, we do it from the standpoint of statistics. Has crime gone up, gone down? What's the reasons for it? What solutions are there that should be utilized in order to bring it down even further?
What are some of the obstacles that you face?
The last 10 years have been rough. We had COVID to deal with. We managed to stay relevant and stay, in business. Through that, we felt that we were one of the essentials that our community needed. Share the information about the disease and about where to go in order to get tested, to get shots. Share information about the aspects of it that people should be aware of. What we need, I think, is a bit more support, dollar support. Michael and I were talking a little earlier about Black billionaires. One of the correspondents for the NNPA wrote something rather scathing about Black billionaires not supporting the Black media that had been instrumental in getting their own careers going. And we need more support from our own people. And I think there's also this question of what is considered news by our people. You see the whole thing about online, the gossip type things. He said, she said, and people fighting and arguing and holding beef and stuff like that. That's one aspect of it, but there's more to news, than that. I kind of like say it's, like a meal. Instead of getting the meat, potatoes, and the vegetables, which is basically the truth and the facts and statistics, we're settling for dessert. They're thinking that that's going to nourish us. We've said we'd rather deal with the dessert, get the cheesecake, and skip the meal. And I think that's the part that I think we in the Black press have to figure out. What do our people think of as news? Because now with the phone and being able to get information, some of it good, some of it bad, we have to try to find a balance where we can still be relevant and get the information and the knowledge out there, but still be attractive enough that people will pick us up.
One person who brings the meat and potatoes is longtime columnist Michael Holt, who spent his entire career at the Community Journal. He talks about his latest signifying column on businesses fleeing the inner city.
Some columns are harder to put together than others. I might start on a column on a Friday, and the deadline is supposed to be Monday. He'll get it on Wednesday morning. Other columns are easy. For example, this week's column focuses on the city being a food desert. But then I take it a step further and touch on all the major national brands who have left the central city. And even the new ones like Chick-fil-A, all of their restaurants are in the suburbs. All Walmarts have closed, 2 of them in Central City. And I hear there's a third one on the chopping block. Walgreens, CVS, Pick and Save, the latest being at Aldi's on Sherman Boulevard. So we are being divested slowly but surely.
What do you think people don't understand about the Black press and Black newspapers?
We value consistency in the community. We every year we show the Juneteenth pictures, Kwanzaa celebration pictures, with the exception of this year, Salvation Army Christmas dinner. It's consistency. People look to us to present those tried and true traditions within Black Milwaukee that they depend on and they look forward to. And I think that's the thing that they don't understand it. Yeah, we'll cover the same person again and again or the same events every year because it is part of who we are as a people in this city. And it's important to us. And so we have to let people know that these things are still going on and that it's still relevant and still important to us.
What would you tell a young college student, a Black college student right now in J school, about possibly getting their start with a Black newspaper?
You would have an opportunity to change the world.
There are young people out here who are aware, who are, in tune with what's going on. And as far as them being in this business, um, just keep reading, keep listening, keep watching news, um, learn to write because even if it's, you know, on a camera, you still have to know how to write. You still have to know how to articulate and explain to people what's going on and why this is important. This is probably a time where, because everything is now being shot live, I think this could become a new age of activism. And we've already seen it, like you mentioned, with Floyd. Um, this is could showing people what's going on in real time, and then getting it out to the rest of the country. Before the traditional news can do something with it, and having people then comment about what they see and then report those comments. I mean, it's already happening now, but I think we in the Black press have to get caught up immediately and start doing the same thing. We have the examples like Roland Martin and Joy Reid and Don Lemon. They're the examples. All we have to do is just use their template, maybe adjust it for our audience, and be able to push it out there for them. And I think that's the best way to reach them.